pilot project to test the assumption that it's workable. If the pilot project is successful, then we'll give you the rest of the money. And some of the awards, quite frankly, are really quite substantial. So it's worth supporting. And that's really what we have ongoing for this year. I expect there are going to be further initiatives next year, but we'll have to wait and see what's in the budget. So, and again, when it's waiting for that. I think, I don't know about you, Jamie, but I'd really like to hear from you as to what you're looking for in terms of help, technical assistance, training, anything that we can provide to help you with economic development. Question in the back.
Mr. Grant, how are you?
Good.
Mr. Rep, you guys are both involved with water stuff. You mentioned my problem. My problem is I can't open a coffee shop in Odessa because there's no public sewer.
There's no public sewer.
Right, and our septic is outdated. And there's no room on my property directly to build a new septic. And we're right on a creek. So you both mentioned, water and development, and I want to ask you, is Odessa on either of your radars? Have you seen the village of Odessa in your listings of needy municipalities?
I have not. You're going to have to educate me.
Mr. Howard, Mr. Howard, right? Mr. Howard can educate us best, right?
Now, I'd like to hear what are
The village of
issues?
Odessa is a community and not so unusual where they are well served by public water supply,
Okay.
but they are served by on-site wastewater systems.
Right.
They currently have a proposal to develop a community wastewater plant for a needed segment of the community, that being Main Street.
Okay.
Main Street, including the school.
Okay.
So they're working through the process. They have other options that they can pursue, but the village board is currently looking at the avenue of developing their own plans. It is a small community, and the section that they're looking at sewering is a commercial area with very few residential units.
Yeah.
So that adds to the problem of the funding relying on the resources coming pretty much from the commercial side rather than subscribers from equivalent dwelling units. So they're working through the process. They're optimistic that something will be developing in the next few years. They're working with Hunt Engineers, has a great deal of experience in this type of activity. So the problem with this gentleman's lot, as he mentioned, is it's a postage stamp lot, and it's close to a classified stream.
Right.
There isn't much green space on the lot, and I've retired from public health, and the state health department, of course, doesn't like your well point. They want a drilled well or a public water supplier, you don't move ahead. And in his situation, they don't like a holding tank. You do have to put in a system that will treat and dispose of the waste on the site.
Right.
And his option is a holding tank, but it's not acceptable. So without public sewer, he's dead in the water.
Right. Exactly the same situation that we faced, in my town. In fact, when we are in the process of revising our zoning code, and one of the things we're doing is requiring we give a density bonus for septic systems which exceed county standards, or state or county standards. So I don't know if you've looked at alternatives like jet aerobic systems or whatever, but if that's not possible, the only way forward is through a public system. Now you say it's servicing just Main Street and commercial clients?
Yes, and the community building, including the fire department, the village offices, and yeah, but there's a very limited residential units along this.
That's just to keep the costs down, but to attract businesses downtown. Is that
Yes.
the thought?
Yes, and again, if you could visualize the community, the classified stream backs up to the
Okay.
business district, backs up to these buildings, their lots.
All
Are
right. So you're running into
contiguous,
problems with setbacks from
with the precipitous embankment
Yeah.
of that stream.
Yeah, okay.
You mentioned generation, but you still need an aerobic system would
Yeah.
reduce the size of the system.
Right. But
But
you're still too close to
You still have to be
waterways.
able to dispose of the water.
Right.
And you're still too close to the water. Without a speedies permit from DEC that you can discharge the waters, and they're not very receptive to that from a small operation.
Right, okay. Now, I've heard you also mention something about the school district. Are you partnering with the school
Yes,
district?
yes.
Well, that, by definition, is a shared service. Okay,
Yes.
so the school district is a separate municipal entity, the village is a separate municipal entity. If you have an intermunicipal agreement between the village and the school district, that's something we can look at for funding.
And I believe that they are pursuing that. And of course,
Oh, are they?
the
Okay.
school is within the village.
Uh-huh.
And of course, the school is on-site systems and,
Right.
but there hasn't really, other than the actual Main Street, they haven't been able to demonstrate a need for the residential areas of the village, whereas it's well-drained soils.
Right,
So if you put this up for a referendum for the village-wide, it isn't going to fly.
right, I understand, yes.
So really, the business community is really on their own. It's to solve this problem with the village board, because again, the voting population of the village isn't supportive of it as far as the numbers from a
As far as
referendum.
including the residential
It's
component.
been tried
But
before.
they are supportive for the
There's-
commercial.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
But they don't,
and-
but the people that live in the homes away from the commercial district aren't willing to
Right.
pay that. Only the
That
people
could
who live in
change
the
over
district.
time. I mean, once you get the system in and, the village grows, wastewater becomes a larger and larger problem, which it may, those mains can be expanded.
Yes.
You already have the infrastructure in place, or a large part of it, the treatment plant.
Yeah.
And so that's the base from which you can grow. Is it the school district who's going to partner with you?
I want to say yes. So that would, so there's been discussion that, I live in the village of Montour Falls, and, or in the town of Montour, which is within the Odessa Montour School District. So I, as a
Right.
taxpayer in that district, I will be subsidizing the cost of that, of the school connecting to the system. With my
To the village.
school tax dollars.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, but I mean,
And that's
that's up to the
important.
school board. I mean, the school obviously needs proper wastewater treatment, just as any other municipality does.
Right.
And they recognize that there's a problem, otherwise they wouldn't be willing to partner with the village. So, I would, if you're not already applying for funding in this upcoming round, and CFA, I don't think they've announced the dates yet for that. It's usually in the summer, the deadline's usually in July, so you got some time. But the program you would want to look at is called the Local Government Efficiency Program. If you want to do some upfront planning before you jump into it, there's money for that, it's 50-50 match. But it sounds like you know what you want to do.
They have a target of what they'd like to do, which is develop this small scale.
A small scale
Yes.
plan.
Like a
Yeah,
plan.
as long as it involves 2 or more municipalities, that's certainly something we can look at. I'm assuming you've had discussions with our co-funding partners, Environmental Facilities Corporation? Okay.
J.C. Smith is.
Okay, good.
Talk to J.C.
JC, okay, so he's on the case. We have a monthly co-funding conference call where we discuss projects and opportunities for Department of State to work with EFC and also Department of Health.
USDA.
Yeah, USDA is kind of
Rural development, I'm sorry.
rural development, yeah.
Municipal.
Yeah, they've been a tremendous partner. They're kind of dropping off a bit just because the federal funding isn't there right now. But EFC is certainly very active. And I can mention that this next co-funding anyway, I can, definitely discuss that with JC. And usually the way we do it is they're the infrastructure people. They'll fund the construction of the small-scale plant, treatment plant. We usually get involved upfront with planning, engineering, and those expenses. So that's how we work together. I don't know if you've had engineering plans drawn up yet?
Yes, conceptual plans again through Hunt Engineers
Okay,
have been prepared.
okay. But final drawings and stuff like that? Okay. I mean, there's probably a role for us to play there, from the sounds of it. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely discuss that with JC. So it's Village of Odessa. What's the name of the school district?
Odessa Montour.
Odessa Montour School District.
So the two municipalities, again, the school would be looked upon as another municipality.
Yes, the school
So with the
district
IMA
is a-
between the village and the school,
Correct.
you have that link with the two municipalities.
Correct. Yeah.
Same
So
as we're
they're
doing here with Mock and Sun Montour Falls.
Exactly.
And here again, EFC provided $25 million to this project,
Yeah.
$18 million was hardship or interest-free due to hardship. So
Yeah.
if something along those lines could be developed in Odessa, that would be would certainly work to get over that hurdle.
Yeah, no, that's.
But Hunt Engineers is very attuned to the opportunities that are available.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing you would have to do would be to show that by working together, it's cheaper than going it alone. So I don't know what the school district situation is, whether they have their own plant or not.
The school has.
Yeah, well, yeah, how do they,
On-site.
wastewater right now?
On-site, wonderful soils.
Oh, okay, so it's that.
The football field is a leach field. Literally. I mean, but they have, typical school property, lots of open space, wonderful soils. The school is really in hardship when it comes to having updated wastewater system, but they want to partner with the
But
village.
they want.
And the school knows it in the future, and
Yeah.
the school districts as a whole are looking to get away from individualized wastewater systems
Yeah.
and promote, obviously, more centralized community development.
Yeah.
And Odessa Montour District is solidly on board with the village to do so.
Are there any outstanding, are there any problems like DEC consent orders? They have
No,
to do this?
absolutely
Okay, no,
not.
they just want to move forward.
They want to be
Okay.
proactive and work
Okay.
together with the village.
Okay, and,
I just wanted to thank you for addressing this issue, and also just to put it in you guys' ear, maybe send out one of your reps to look at Odessa and see the potential there is amazing, not just for my
Would be
place.
me. Yeah.
But we
No, I'd love to.
I
I'd
just
love
wanted
to.
to thank you for addressing it. I know we've eaten up a lot of time over this issue. It's a
No,
big
no,
issue.
it's very important. It's
Thank you.
very important. I see it as one of the most important areas, important things in this area. I mean, with our comprehensive plan, we did an extensive survey. The single most important issue in the town was water quality. And it's a huge, huge issue, not only because of drinking water problems, which we have with point wells, agricultural runoff, which is a big problem, but there are also, it's a recreational problem. It's flowing into the lakes, it's causing eutrophication, it's degrading it as an asset for lakes, and it's got to be addressed. It's not going to get better if you don't tackle it head on. So yeah, I would love to come to Odessa actually. Have a further discussion.
When we designed our joint plan
Yeah.
with Watkins Montour, we engineered in capacity for Odessa and
Oh.
some other areas, but the problem is, first of all, we don't have a collection system, and secondly, it's extremely expensive to bring it down the hill.
How far is Odessa from Montour?
3.5 miles.
3.5 miles? Yeah, so it's quite a
It's all downhill.
But that is an option for Odessa, to run a pipe down the hill is an option.
Yeah,
They could provide primary treatment with septic tanks,
Yeah.
and then secondary treatment with effluent down to the village of Montour Falls.
Yeah.
Once again, it is all downhill, but it's a very expensive, I don't have the numbers now,
Yeah.
I've forgotten the number to put that pipeline down the hill.
yeah, but I'm
That is an
assuming
option.
your engineers would have looked at that as an option?
They have,
Yeah,
But,
and compared it with an on-site treatment.
But I know that, I'm sure you've experienced this independent nature of some communities where
Yes.
we straddle that again with the Watkins Glen Montour wastewater treatment plant.
Yeah.
Joining these two communities together wasn't exactly an easy task. But once they embrace the project and look at the dollars, these two communities working together is marvelous. But I don't think there's the political will, strong political will on the part of the village of Odessa to join together
Yeah.
with the regional plant.
Yeah. You
So
know, I run into
they're
this-
pursuing more of that avenue of going on their own rather
Yeah.
than aggressively pursuing the regional
You know,
plant.
I run into this all the time, and, you know, quite frankly, I just don't understand.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, I was at a meeting last night in the western part of the state, and it was discussion about wastewater treatment plant again. Or, I'm sorry, it was a water treatment plant this time. And it made perfect sense to join with the adjoining community and share the water treatment plant. And the mayor was saying, well, you know, it would be impossible for the residents of the village to give up the water treatment plant because it's theirs. You know, they paid for it, and, you know, it's an asset. Except, you know, it's not really an asset, it's really a liability. I mean, you know, you're going to be paying operating, first of all, the plant is 50 years old. So it was due for replacement. And the cost to replace a water treatment plant is horrendous. It's very difficult to get water operators licensed and who are willing to take that as a job. And the ongoing operations and maintenance costs are burdensome. And more communities are realizing this, and they want to get out of the water business, they want to get out of the water treatment business. It's just too expensive. And, you know, is that really how you want to be spending taxpayer dollars, you know, patching up an aging facility? And they said, well, you know, you're right. I really didn't think of it that way. So you got to get out of that mindset, and more importantly, you got to think regionally, as I said. Why compromise your residents and your businesses and potential migrants into the village by maintaining inadequate services? You're really doing yourself harm.
And those communities just have to get over the paranoia of that they are going to be controlled by the district that they're purchasing from. If you set up a purchase district to buy water from,
Right.
like the town of Reading does, Mark Specchio was very much involved in that. He was the water plant operator, now he's the GPW superintendent here in the village of Watkins Glen.
Right.
And they sell water to the town of Dix, they sell
Right.
water to the town of Reading.
Right.
And of course, at budget time and when rates are discussed, you have these discussions about,
I heard
are we
that.
being fairly treated? We're paying 1.5 times the rate
Yeah.
of the people in the village.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but it's still a bargain for you, 1.5 versus developing your own plant.
Yeah, no, I heard that as well, and they said, yeah, it's going to be much cheaper for us to, you know, maintain our own plant versus buy water from so-and-so.
Right.
You know, their rates are higher. I said, well, you know, have you really, you know, done capital planning? Have you really figured out how much it's going to cost to upgrade that system, maintain it year after year, and set aside reserve funds, frankly, over the next 10, 20 years for a major replacement? And of course, the answer is no. Local government officials, state officials, no offense to anyone in here, but tend not to look beyond, you know, the next year or so. And that's a mistake, because it's going to catch up to you eventually, deferred maintenance and all of those other problems. And also the relationship among the partners